Pharaoh. The gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
One of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking devices just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scrambled they spy drones.
That voice speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history.
I can't explain it.
We live. Appreciate everybody coming through. We are back, man. Another collab. Me, myself, Pharaoh NFL. You see to the left of me, or to the right of me, BIGMIKE Raider, and obviously the Severe Raider, man. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, man. Hey, man, should I give him the friendly reminder? Should I give him the thumbs up, man? Man, I'm just go ahead and just.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it, man. Let me go ahead and give him the thumbs up. As you can see it on the screen, man, it's all good. We're gonna be all right, man. The thumbs ain't hurting us right now. It's just a friendly reminder just to hit that like button. Hey, as we like to say it, make sure to clock in and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell and all that good stuff, man, so you'll be notified every time we drop new content and another edition, another collab, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. Hey, big news. Hey, before we even get it, how's everybody doing today, man? I sometimes I forget to ask, how's everybody doing today?
Man, good, man. We one step closer to the draft. Things are starting to surface. News is starting to show up. That smoke season is getting a little bit thicker too at the same time. So, it's draft season, man. And you got to be happy about it. You got to love it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. What's going on with you, Severe?
Yeah, facts, man. I'm doing good, doing great over here, man. As Mike said, it is smoke season, man. So if you got asthma, make sure you grab your inhaler because it's getting rough out here.
Hey, the good thing is though, we're here to talk about all the smoke and figure out what's real and what's not, and that's why we're here, have that conversation with y'all. And today, there's some big NFL news today, man. Josh Allen, the linebacker, outside linebacker, DM, pass rusher, whatever you want to call him, got a huge extension today. 5 years, I believe, up to $150 million, including $88 million guaranteed. Huge contract. And what are your early thoughts, man, Big Mike, like on this contract, man? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's a pretty big contract for a guy that I'm not sure if he's up there with one of the best, but we know how it works, man. We know how this whole thing works at the end of the day. But what are your early thoughts on the contract?
Yeah, it's a hefty payday, but I'm gonna pass it to Severe first because I know he's got a pretty good take on that. I know that I don't want to steal his thunder on this one, so I'm gonna pass it to Severe to go first, and then I'll follow after that.
Yeah, man. As you know, we always got to keep the Raider Central over here, man. So just looking at that payday, we have a pass rusher we paid a few years ago, and I'm sure him and his agent right now, they are licking their chops, just thinking about the kind of money they're going to be getting coming soon, man. They're about to be getting some quarterback money. But one thing I will say, man, is that, seeing Josh Allen get paid, I'm happy for dude. It's a little bit bittersweet because we had a first-round pick, a guy that is a pass rusher that was drafted before him, that a lot of people, thought we should have took him instead of, and that guy was not able to earn a second contract with us, and that is one Cleveland Farrell. So, this stings just a little bit, man. It stings just a little bit, and it's gonna sting a lot of bit in like 2 years when Max Crosby comes due.
Yeah,
exactly, and that's exactly what I wanted to pass that to you first because I know that was your main point, one of your main points. I didn't want to steal the thunder, but absolutely, man. Max Crosby is, because of this, he's going to be due for a massive payday. I know you're going to pull up the chart in a couple of seconds, but Max Crosby, he's looking to be at some point probably the highest paid defensive end in the league because of this. You got Josh Allen, who's up there in that top 10 at this point. And, Max Crosby is due for a contract in the next couple of years. So when it's time for him to, get paid again, we're looking at Max Crosby exceeding that $34 million per year easily, at least, right? I can see Max Crosby, with the market going higher and revenue and things like that. I can see Max Crosby getting upwards of $40 million a year when it's all said and done. That's kind of where I have Max Crosby right now. And good, congrats to Josh Allen. He had a solid year last year, 17 and a half sacks. Excellent year. But I don't know if it's justified at this point. I wanted to see a little bit more. Maybe that's just me not seeing the Jaguars enough. It's a Raiders show. I really watch the Raiders. I'm mostly into the Raiders. But to me, from, looking from the outside in, I feel like Josh Allen, he had one or a couple of good seasons. I know that he had like a few, like he was leading as far as pressures go, but I don't see him as that top 10 type of pass rusher.
And just to to bring up what Severe was talking about as far as that draft class with Cleveland Farrell, like and seeing how bad a pick that was.
All those guys were in that same draft class, bro. Nick Bosa, Josh Allen, Brian Burns, Montez Sweat, Rashawn Gary. All of those guys are that same class.
That's
Six
The
out
only
of the
person
10.
disgusting.
only person drafted by in front of him was Nick Bosa, and know why we couldn't draft Nick Bosa? Because we won meaningless games at the end of a lame duck year. And there's somebody out there who made a video recently. I'm talking to you. I'm looking dead at you. I say that.
Man.
Yeah, nah, good point, man. Like 6 out of the 10 pass rushers are getting from the 2019 draft class are getting paid. So
And 5 of those guys were drafted after Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. Especially Josh Allen at the time was like a guy that was like, was talked about as a guy that should be picked in that top 10, top 5 area. And the Raiders, they went for, the intangibles, man. Or he's a locker room fit, but
went to the high character guy.
Yeah, I value high character as well. But then like, if the talent, is not there, then and you're taking them in the first round, like it just make sense.
I'm gonna tell you about high character, man. High character. I don't care about none of that when it comes to being on the field. I kind of want an asshole on the field when it comes to defense, man. You got to have a dog on the field. Now, if you're a good character guy off the field, I'm just saying, man. Like, good character is cool off the field, but on the field, man, you gotta be a dog, bro. You gotta be a dog.
Yeah, man. But part of it was Paul Gunther, and Cleveland Farrell was more of a fit for a Paul Gunther system. The only other guy on the list that kind of that was in that class that kind of would have been a fit for that system is Rashawn Gary. But Rashawn Gary had some question marks in terms of his consistency and his just his projection to the league. He didn't have a whole lot of production when he's coming out, so there were some questions there. But everybody knew he had the talent. But Paul Gunther, he likes those bigger defensive ends, and so that's why we went after a guy like a Brian Burns or Josh Allen was considered kind of undersized. But yeah, man, that was a rough one, man. We were one win away from being able to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get that was a 3-player draft. So if you man, that was a rough one, man. We were one win away from being able to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get. Yeah, that was a 3-player draft. So if you So that's why we went after a guy like a Brian Burns or Josh Allen was considered kind of undersized. But yeah, man, that was a rough one, man. We were one win away from being able to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get. Yeah, that was a 3-player draft. So if you
Kind of where I have Max. You got to
Oh,
be
my
a
bad.
dog, bro. You got to be a
No.
dog. The field, but on the field, man, you gotta
Oh,
be a
my bad.
dog, bro. You gotta be a
No.
dog.
yeah, man. But part of it was Paul Gunther, and Cleveland Farrell was more of a fit for a Paul Gunther system. The only other guy on the list that kind of that was in that class that kind of would have been a fit for that system is Rashawn Gary. But Rashawn Gary had some question marks in terms of his consistency and his just his projection to the league. He didn't have a whole lot of production um, when he's coming out, so there were some questions there. But everybody knew he had the talent. But Paul Gunther, he likes those bigger defensive ends, and so that's why we went after a guy like a Brian Burns or Josh Allen was considered kind of undersized. But yeah, man, that was a rough one, man. We were one win away from being able to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get. Yeah, that was a 3-player draft. So if you
I can't.
undersized, but yeah, man, that was a rough one, man. We were one win away from being able to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get. Yeah, that was a 3-player draft. So if you
Pharaoh. The gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
One of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed wild. My cloaking devices just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scrambled they spy drones.
That voice speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history.
I can't explain it.
We live. Appreciate everybody coming through. We are back, man. Another collab. Me, myself, Pharaoh NFL. You see to the left of me, or to the right of me, BIGMIKE Raider, and obviously the Severe Raider, man. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, man. Hey, man, should I give him the friendly reminder? Should I give him the thumbs up, man? Man, I'm just go ahead and just
gotta do it.
Gotta do it, man. Let me go ahead and give him the thumbs up. As you can see it on the screen, man, it's all good. We're gonna be all right, man. The thumbs ain't hurting us right now. it's just a friendly reminder just to hit that like button. Hey, as we like to say it, make sure to clock in and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell and all that good stuff, man, so you'll be notified every time we drop new content and another edition, another collab, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. Hey, big news. Hey, before we even get it, how's everybody doing today, man? I sometimes I forget to ask, how's everybody doing today?
Man, good, man. We one step closer to the draft. Things are starting to surface. News is starting to show up. That smoke season is getting a little bit thicker too at the same time. So, it's draft season, man. And you got to be happy about it. You got to love it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. What's going on with you, Severe?
Yeah, facts, man. I'm doing good, doing great over here, man. As Mike said, it is smoke season, man. So if you got asthma, make sure you grab your inhaler because it's getting rough out here.
The good thing is though, we're here to talk about all the smoke and figure out what's real and what's not, and that's why we're here, have that conversation with y'all. And today, there's some big NFL news today, man. Josh Allen, the linebacker, outside linebacker, DM, pass rusher, whatever you want to call him, got a huge extension today. 5 years, I believe, up to $150 million, including $88 million guaranteed. Huge contract. And what are your early thoughts, man, Big Mike, like on this contract, man? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's a pretty big contract for a guy that I'm not sure if he's up there with one of the best, but we know how it works, man. We know how this whole thing works at the end of the day. But what are your early thoughts on the contract?
Yeah, it's a hefty payday, but I'm gonna pass it to Severe first because I know he's got a pretty good take on that. I know that I don't want to steal his thunder on this one, so I'm gonna pass it to Severe to go first, and then I'll follow after that.
Yeah, man. As you know, we always got to keep the Raider Central over here, man. So just looking at that payday, we have a pass rusher we paid a few years ago, and I'm sure him and his agent right now, they are licking their chops, just thinking about the kind of money they're going to be getting coming soon, man. They're about to be getting some quarterback money. But one thing I will say, man, is that, seeing Josh Allen get paid, I'm happy for dude. It's a little bit bittersweet because we had a first-round pick, a guy that is a pass rusher that was drafted before him, that a lot of people, thought we should have took him instead of, and that guy was not able to earn a second contract with us, and that is one Cleveland Farrell. So, this stings just a little bit, man. It stings just a little bit, and it's gonna sting a lot of bit in like 2 years when Max Crosby comes due.
Yeah,
exactly, and that's exactly what I wanted to pass that to you first because I know that was your main point, one of your main points. I didn't want to steal the thunder, but absolutely, man. Max Crosby is, because of this, he's going to be due for a massive payday. I know you're going to pull up the chart in a couple of seconds, but Max Crosby, he's looking to be at some point probably the highest paid defensive end in the league because of this. You got Josh Allen, who's up there in that top 10 at this point. And, Max Crosby is due for a contract in the next couple of years. So when it's time for him to, get paid again, we're looking at Max Crosby exceeding that $34 million per year easily, at least, right? I could see Max Crosby, with the market going higher and revenue and things like that. I can see Max Crosby getting upwards of $40 million a year when it's all said and done. That's kind of where I have Max Crosby right now. And good, congrats to Josh Allen. He had a solid year last year, 17.5 sacks. Excellent year. But I don't know if it's justified at this point. I wanted to see a little bit more. Maybe that's just me not seeing the Jaguars enough. It's a Raiders show. I really watch the Raiders. I'm mostly into the Raiders. But to me, from, looking from the outside in, I feel like Josh Allen, he had one or a couple of good seasons. I know that he had like a few, like he was leading as far as pressures go, but I don't see him as that top 10 type of pass rusher.
And just to to bring up what Severe was talking about as far as that draft class with Clean and Farrell, like and seeing how bad a pick that was.
All those guys were in that same draft class, bro. Nick Bosa, Josh Allen, Brian Burns, Montez Sweat, Rashawn Gary. All of those guys are that same class.
That's
Six
The
out
only
of the
person
10.
disgusting.
only person drafted by in front of him was Nick Bosa. And know why we couldn't draft Nick Bosa? Because we won meaningless games at the end of a lame duck year. And somebody out there who made a video recently, I'm talking to you. I'm looking dead at you. I say that.
Man.
Yeah, nah, good point, man. Like 6 out of the 10 pass rushers are getting from the 2019 draft class are getting paid. So
And 5 of those guys were drafted after Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. Especially Josh Allen at the time was like a guy that was like, was talked about as a guy that should be picked in that top 10, top 5 area. And the Raiders, they went for, the intangibles, man. Or he's a locker room fit, but
went to the high character guy.
Yeah, I value high character as well. But then like, if the talent, is not there, then and you're taking them in the first round, like it just make sense.
I'm gonna tell you about high character, man. High character. I don't care about none of that when it comes to being on the field. I kind of want an asshole on the field when it comes to defense, man. You got to have a dog on the field. Now, if you're a good character guy off the field, I'm just saying, man. Like, good character is cool off the field, but on the field, man, you gotta be a dog, bro. You gotta be a dog.
Yeah, man. But part of it was Paul Gunther, and Cleveland Farrell was more of a fit for a Paul Gunther system. The only other guy on the list that kind of that was in that class that kind of would have been a fit for that system is Rashawn Gary. But Rashawn Gary had some question marks in terms of his consistency and his just his projection to the league. He didn't have a whole lot of production when he's coming out, so there were some questions there. But everybody knew he had the talent. But Paul Gunther, he likes those bigger defensive ends, and so that's why we went after a guy like a Brian Burns or Josh Allen was considered kind of undersized. But yeah, man, that was a rough one, man. We were one win away from to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get that was a 3-player draft. So if you Paul Guenther's system. The only other guy in just his projection to the league. He didn't have a whole lot of production when he's coming out, so there were some questions there. But everybody knew he had the talent. But Paul Guenther, he likes those bigger defensive ends, and so that's why we went after a guy like a Brian Burns, or Josh Allen was considered kind of undersized. But yeah, man, that was a rough one, man. We were one win away from being able to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get. Yeah, that was a 3-player draft. So if you
Let's start recording now.
Kuntz's value is at his peak right now. Now, it would be beneficial for the Raiders to do so. Kind of reminds me of what they did with Darren Waller before he got a second payday. When they signed Darren Waller kind of right away, and when it was all said and done, Darren Waller had a more contract. He had a team-friendly contract. It was considered a discount at the time. That could help if you pay a Kuntz. I don't know what the market would look like for somebody at a mid-level type of pass rusher, maybe a 14 million, something like that. I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't know, but
Right.
If it's somewhere around that number and he continues that production, then that contract looks genius down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Now the problem is with Kuntz is we got half of a season of that type of production. Can he do it again? You know, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Are you going to repeat that same level of production this season as you did in the second half of last season? And then that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's kind of like you got to have a contract that has some incentive laden kind of, you know, incentives in there, some things that can also, you know, there's also a trap door out of it if things don't work out. So
right.
I would say yeah, but it has to be some caveats to it.
Yeah. And just to talk, just to to bring up what Severe was talking about as far as that draft class with Cleveland Farrell, like and seeing how bad a pick that was.
All those guys were in that same draft class, bro. Nick Bosa, Josh Allen, Brian Burns, Montez Sweat, Rashawn Gary. All of those guys are that same class.
That's
6
the
out
only
of the
person
10.
only person drafted in front of him was Nick Bosa. And know why we couldn't draft Nick Bosa? Because we won meaningless games at the end of a lame duck year. And somebody out there who made a video recently, I'm talking to you. I'm looking dead at you. I say that.
Man.
Good point, man. Like 6 out of the 10 pass rushers are getting from the 2019 draft class are getting paid. So
and 5 of those guys were drafted after Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah. That's tough, man. That's tough. Especially Josh Allen at the time was like a guy that was like, you know, was talked about as a guy that should be picked in that top 10, top 5 area. And the Raiders, you know, they went for, you know, the intangibles, man. He's a locker room fit, you know, but
high character guy.
Yeah, I value high character as well. But then, like, if the talent, you know, is not there, then and you're taking them in the first round, like it just make sense.
I'm gonna tell you about high character, man. High character. I don't care about none of that when it comes to being on the field. I kind of want an asshole on the field when it comes to defense, man. You got to have a dog on the field. Now, if you're a good character guy off the field, I'm just saying, man. Like, good character is cool off the field, but on the field, man, you gotta be a dog, bro. You gotta be a dog.
Yeah, man. But part of it was, you know, Paul Guenther, and Cleveland Farrell was more of a fit for a Paul Guenther system. The only other guy on the list that kind of that was in that class that kind of would have been a fit for that system is Rashawn Gary. But Rashawn Gary had some question marks in terms of his consistency and his, you know, just his projection to the league. He didn't have a whole lot of production when he's coming out, so there were some questions there. But everybody knew he had the talent. But you know, Paul Guenther, he likes those bigger defensive ends, and so that's why we went after a guy like a Brian Burns, or, you know, Josh Allen was considered kind of undersized. But yeah, man. That was a rough one, man. We were 1 win away from being able to pick Quentin Williams or possibly trade up and get. Yeah, that was a 3-player draft. So if you were in that top 3, you were in prime position. You could get Quentin Williams, Kyler Murray, or Nick Bosa. Being at 4, it's kind of like being at 13. Kind of like being at 13.
Well, look, the Josh Allen, obviously he's not a Raider. He's getting paid, but then we can also connect the dots back to the Raiders and see how it could affect the team. And it just kind of reminds us how bad a pick of Cleveland Farrell was. And also it makes it look, it kind of also has us taking an eye at or looking at, you know, guys like Max Crosby, seeing that like, hey, this guy's probably going to he's going to get paid if the Raiders want to continue to pay or keep him, because obviously he gave us a discount first time around. It's not a guarantee that he's going to give us that same discount again. But we'll see, man. I don't know, man. Maybe he's the Tom Brady of the Raiders, and he just continues to give us discounts just in the name of winning. Who knows?
I hope so.
But Kuntz is a guy that we have to keep an eye on as well. But let us know in the comment section down below, and we'll talk about it as well. But we're talking about the comments. That's a good segue to the next segment, right? Comments of the week, man. Look, every week we're gonna do this, man. Every week we're gonna include this as a part of the show, and we're gonna look at comments at the end of all the videos, because obviously this will be released on all our channels. So if you guys have any thoughts, any opinions, you disagree with us, let us know in the comments. And there were some people who had issues with what we had to say last show.
Yeah.
And Big Mike, this one, I'm gonna hand this off to you, man. I'm gonna hand this off to you. And this first comment right here, I'm taking Fuaga over Latham. And I believe like there's a few comments here and there that had issues with that mock draft that we had where we took JC Latham at number 13. But why, you 30-day, 30 prospects. I know you did your research as far as who the Raiders could possibly take at in the first round. You're a big JC Latham guy. Can you explain to the people why you have JC Latham over Fuaga?
Yeah, so before I get started, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. I'm going to put a warning out there. So you put the comments out there. That's cool, right? We do welcome the comments big time, 100%. But you better be ready for the smoke now for weeks on from this point forward. I'm just saying. But, as far as – just saying, man. As far as Fuaga and Latham goes, both got great tangibles. Measurables are great. Athleticism off the chart. But the thing about Latham over Fuaga is, from what I've seen, is that he's a zone run blocking specialist. He's a guy that can move laterally quickly, left and right. Like I said before, 11-inch mitts. He gets his hands on you, it's over. He's pushing you. He's taking you to either sideline, either your own, or you're going to take a visit to the other side of the sideline and see the other team and how they're living. So that's what I'm getting from Latham. His measurables, 6'6", 350 pounds, his moves as quick as he does. It kind of reminds me. Now it's a big comparison. It's you can even say that it's kind of a reach, but from what I see early on, it's a Trent Williams comparison. I see a Trent Williams in JC Latham. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just the lateral movement, get to the second level, pancake linebackers, take people out. He has that same kind of measurables and speed laterally, and that mean streak as a Trent Williams. So that's why I'm picking Latham over Fuaga. Now, if we go with Fuaga, I'm cool with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm cool with Fuaga. He'd be a great pickup. But I think Latham would be a better fit with today's Raiders. With today's Raiders, the zone run scheme that we're trying to run, it'll be a good fit for us right now.
So you comparing him to Trent Williams, you're pretty much saying you like his ceiling as a player. I mean, Trent Williams is the best tackle in the game. So yeah. That's a high praise right there. That's high praise. But moving on, let's hey, we're gonna address these comments. We're gonna and I'm gonna put some on the screen. The next one is, man, the guy starts off real nice, you know what I mean? All polite and still, hey, love the show. But Pharaoh got to stop getting cheaper at the receiver position. He's talking about how I kind of implied that we have to get rid of maybe Tay, Devontae Adams or Myers at the receiver position. He says Myers isn't making big-time money. I agree. He's making tier 2 money. Okay. Cap goes up every year too. I understand. Also, we're not paying the QB. No need to get rid of the receivers. I understand what you're saying. But I did respond to this comment, but I'm gonna repeat what I said to him. And one of the things I said to him was that Devontae Adams in 2025 is gonna have a $44 million cap hit. Make it make sense. Make it make sense at the receiver position. I love the receiver position. It's probably one of my favorite positions on the football team. But I also understand that it's not the highest valued position compared to quarterback, pass rusher. We just got done talking about offensive tackle. You know what I mean? Like corner. We can go on. There's other positions that are highly valuable that the Raiders, especially when we look at corner, that's a position right now where we don't have a lot of depth. Most likely, if guys play well at that position moving forward, young players like, the Jack Jones, obviously Nate Hobbs. We probably would like to keep one of those guys, but in order to keep those guys, you got to have the money to spend. And obviously, we're not gonna use all our money on just one player. Obviously, we're not paying the quarterback position all that money. I get it, but doesn't mean that you don't be responsible with the money that we have. I think, and I say we, I mean Mark Davis obviously has the money, but at the end of the day, I feel like we can be part of this draft class where, and I think he was talking about when we talked about like Xavier Legette and how like we could, when we're doing our mock drafts, like, hey man, maybe we can trade up into the second round or third round and possibly get Xavier Legette and get a guy that's young and talented and possibly be a replacement to a guy like, Tay Adams. And we've kind of implied on a lot of shows where, hey, maybe we can trade Devontae Adams to the Jets for a top 10 pick. Is it going to happen? No. But, hey, it makes sense. You know what I mean? It makes a whole lot of sense. So my thing at the end of the day is that receiver position, it's not as valuable as other positions. And we got too much money kind of like on our skill position players. And I think that it's a different regime. You got Pierce, who's a defensive-minded head coach. He's going to want to build this team in his eyes. And I don't think paying all that money all in the skill position is the right move in my opinion. So that's kind of my thing on this comment. But let's move it along real quick. And this is I'm gonna hand this off to Severe. And this is more of Michael Penix. I'll go ahead and read it. I doubt very much we take him at 13, which is he's talking about Penix. I would be okay with it. Telesco comes with he comes from the Napoleon tree and doesn't like to take risk in round 1. I hope we draft Fuaga and trade our second and a pick or picks from next year to get back into the first and draft Penix. That's the only way I see us getting Penix. Next year's draft is not going to be as good. I think and hope our pick will be in the 20s. And then I also will combine that with this comment as well. Why is it everyone say we need a QB? That's by far our biggest need at all. So, Severe, go ahead and address this guy. Appreciate the comment, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate you commenting. But like Big Mike said, y'all comment on here, you're talking reckless. Y'all better expect some smoke. And no J. Cole's over here, bro. We ain't apologizing afterwards. Get this.
There you go.
We ain't apologizing afterwards. So I would say this. First off, Penix is going to be likely a top 15 pick, right? Outside of the injuries, Penix would guaranteed be a top 5-ish pick. And even post-injury, he's played 2 consecutive years, showed that he's healthy. He's going through adversity. He's taken 2 programs, not one, but 2 programs that weren't traditionally winners, and he won with them. I think, in his first 12 starts with Indiana, he won 10 of those games. He took a 4-8 Washington team, and, he won there his first year, second year there in the national championship game. Did so damn good that the coach got the job at Alabama. And we talk about, Tom Telesco as a GM. So, and not to take a dump on our GM, this is the guy that traded up for Melvin Gordon. This is a guy that traded up for Melvin Gordon. This is the guy that took Mike Williams, as a top 10 pick at wide receiver, Mike Williams out of Clemson. He's better than the other Mike Williams that came into the draft. But, and if you look at his athletic scores, he's a less athletic at wide receiver than Michael Penix is at quarterback. So, he's a guy that once he identifies a player, if he thinks that player is going to fit in that system, he's going to take him, right? He identified Melvin Gordon as a fit. He took Melvin Gordon. That was kind of a mixed bag of success. He identified Mike Williams, as a fit in that system. Mike Williams is a guy that, when he was healthy, he was a good receiver, but he wasn't healthy often. And we can look at Mike Williams, his sophomore year, he played 1 game, had an injury, a neck injury, where, he snapped some stuff up in his neck, missed the entire season, came back at his junior year and had a strong year. So if he was willing to draft Mike Williams, who plays a skill position, a position where you're guaranteed to take hits, 1 year removed from a season-ending injury, why wouldn't he take Michael Penix a guy that you're going to put in the pocket, and in all honesty, shouldn't be getting hit that often. 2 years removed from an injury, I think quarterback is our. I think on offense, quarterback is our biggest need. We have two good receivers. We have a tight end that's very promising. We have we're locked in at left tackle. We have a left guard. We have a guy that we just paid at center. We have some young running backs. The right side of the line needs some work, but are you going to prioritize a right guard and a right tackle over a potentially a franchise quarterback? I don't think any smart GM would do that. You know, the quarterback is a premium position, and I think if you have a blue chip player that's going to fall to you, you take that guy.
Facts. No, I agree, man. And there you have it, man. Those are the comments of the week. We're gonna do this, like I said, every show. So make sure to leave a comment down below if you disagree with any of the anybody on the panel, man. Myself, Big Mike Raider, or Severe Raider. Let us know in the comments, or agree. You know what I mean? It's not about showing the disagreements. We're gonna show people who make actually valid points, and we'll talk about it. So make sure to leave a comment down below. But let's move it along, man. Hey, man. Mark Davis has given the Raiders a green light to trade up and get a QB. There was a recent article on ESPN. Paul Gutierrez, you know, obviously he has a relationship with Mark Davis, and in his article he said that sources say that Mark Davis has given the Raiders a green light, the front office, to go get their guy at QB, if it makes sense. And I'll go ahead and show this on the screen so everybody can see here. Oh, man, I thought I had it up. But what are your early thoughts on this, Severe? What are your thoughts on possibly, first of all, the Raiders getting a green light from Mark Davis and what this means for this team? Like, do you think that means that the Raiders are going to do whatever it takes to get a QB in that top 5, top 10 just because they got the owner's approval? Or it's kind of like, yeah, he might give the green light, but it doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen?
I think it was always implied that they had the green light. You know, and we heard throughout the interview process for general managers that one of the things that, you know, one of the questions being asked was, what was your plan to, you know, essentially go up and get a quarterback, right? Did you have a plan to do that? For all those people out there that don't think we need a quarterback, you know, this apparently everybody else in the organization didn't necessarily agree with that. So that was one of the plans. And we heard that, you know, it was being rumored that one of the reasons that Champ Kelly didn't get the job is because Champ Kelly was like, hey, man, let's just roll with the AOC. And during the interview process, and he heard crickets. And so, you know, he went and picked up his resume off the table and walked out the door. So,
he's still in the building. He's still in the building. But yeah. Point taken.
But so I think that we are. Ideally, the plan is not to be picking this high in the future. I kind of like that last commenter said, right? We want to be picking in the 20s. It's going to be, you know, we think it's difficult now to get up from 13 to pick a guy, you know, in the top 5-ish, top 3-ish. Trying to get up from the 20s is damn near impossible. So right now is the time to strike while you have the ability to, while you have a team that's pretty set on most positions. You just had a good defense. You set at the skill position. You go up and you do it. You go up and you do it. If you identify a guy that you think can change the trajectory of your franchise, then you move heaven and earth to bring that guy into the building.
Yeah, facts, 100%. Yeah, man. I think, like Severe said, man, I think this is already known. It's at this point, like, maybe, I don't know if he felt like, hey, man, maybe I should put this in here. But it was pretty obvious that, like, Mark Davis wanted a guy. He wants a franchise QB. And that's what was early reported during the process of the Raiders finding a GM. So this is not a big surprise. Does it guarantee that the Raiders are going to get their guy? No, it doesn't. But I think what was key and what was said here, so long as it makes sense. Meaning there's going to be a price, there's going to be a limit. There's obviously, like, they're not going to be trying to trade up to the first overall pick or top 3, and it's going to be the next 10 draft picks. That's not going to happen. I mean, it has to make sense. But Mark Davis is definitely on board and getting the quarterback. But at the end of the day, there's a limit to what it's going to take to get there. So I like that. I like that's how they're attacking it, and I'm sure Telesco with his experience is also letting him know, and people in the building are also letting him know, like, hey man, I know we want to get that franchise QB, but I'm not sure if we should leverage all of the next 10 years of draft picks. I know I'm exaggerating to get this guy, because it's not going to be worth it, because we all know that drafting well is key to building a long-term building long-term success in the NFL. But you got to have draft picks to do that. So it has to make sense. But what are your thoughts, Big Mike?
I mean, you said it exactly. The last part, so long that it makes sense, right? And I think the timing of this thing coming out is brilliant to me. I think that if this came out like a day or two before the draft, things would have been, the price would have been a lot higher to try to move up. Mm-hmm. And say, so long as it makes sense. It won't make sense if you're making that kind of statement 2 days from now expecting a deal, right?
Right.
So this gives the Raiders kind of like some time to figure things out and figure out what kind of deal they want to make to move up. Now, when we say move up, right, the next part of that article says read into that what you will. That's the next thing, right? Everybody kind of assumes that moving up in the draft means that we are going to go to number 3 or number 4 to get Jaden Daniels. That's an assumption, right? That's the assumption of us moving up in the draft and doing so. We talked about this last week. There's a possibility that you have to move up to leapfrog the Broncos to get Michael Penix Jr. That still means that you have moved up in the draft by definition. So whether it's 3 or 9, you're still moving up in the draft. And, as long as it makes sense that you're doing so, that's the parameters still. So when people hear that, people are like, hey, yep, Jaden Daniels is our guy. This is who we're grabbing. This is who we're going after. But it might be, if you're thinking that way, maybe a slight disappointment, because it could also mean that they're moving up to leapfrog the Broncos or even the Vikings to get Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah. And just to add too as well, what I thought was interesting in this article was that they compared it to the Raiders' position to the 49ers' position when trading up to get from number 12 to get to number 3 to draft Trey Lance, and they end up giving up 3 first-round picks in that draft. I believe it says here that was the last time 3 straight quarterbacks were taken. And this is what everybody's talking about. Quarterbacks are going to go off the board early. The first 3 picks might be quarterback. So we talked about how, like, with all the competition from other teams who want to get quarterbacks, who have those needs, that are picking ahead of the Raiders. Obviously the Vikings as well, getting that extra first-round pick. It's going to add a little bit more value. So it might take 3 first-round picks to get in the top 3. Do the Raiders want to make that deal? Possibly, if it means getting Jaden Daniels, but we won't know that until draft day. We'll see if they'll pull it off. But man, it's our favorite part of the show now. Last week we did our mock draft, two round mock drafts. We did 2, 1 straight up and with trades, and now we're gonna get back to it this week. We're gonna do 3 rounds. We're gonna do 3 rounds, man. Let's go ahead. And see if we could top our drafts, our mock drafts last week. Some people weren't the biggest fans, obviously, but you know what? Hey, we're realists, man. We're gonna try every way to make this team a better team. Hopefully, the Raiders are watching and Telesco is taking notes. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the screen and let Big Mike lead the way. 1 second here. Go ahead and put this on here 1 second. Boom, right here. We on it right now. Okay.
All right. Shout out to PFF for the mock draft. I try to make it once again as realistic as possible. Go ahead, bro.
One more thing. for all the people that hated on picking up on trading up or picking Penix in the first round at 13, or I think we traded up to get Penix, I believe.
Yeah, 9. We traded up to 9 with the Bears.
I just want you to pay attention to this. PFF had a recent mock draft, and guess who they had the Raiders picking at number 13? I just want y'all to guess real quick. You know what I mean? I think y'all know. They had the Raiders picking Michael Penix at 13. So, look, hey man, and they're not the only people. I think Daniel Jeremiah also had the Raiders picking number 13. A lot of people are now mocking Michael Penix at 13, if not trading up for him. So it's still early in the process. It's still smoke season, but hey, man, we're not going to give y'all bullshit over here, man. We're going to give you the straight truth, and we feel like Penix could be a guy for the Raiders, and you know it's going to be hard for us to imagine that he's going to be there in the second round. Just keeping it real.
You won't be there.
Right. So let's get back to the mock draft. Let me go ahead and put this back on the screen, man. My bad. Messing up your mojo, Big Mike. Hold on.
No. I'm glad you brought that up. That needed to be noted for sure, because yeah, people thought we were crazy picking Penix, trading up at number 9 and getting Penix. I mean, if you got to be a little bit aggressive if you're trying to locate your quarterback, your franchise guy, and especially that the Broncos are sitting right before you and the Vikings are sitting there as well. You got to be a little bit aggressive. So that was the reason why we moved up to 9. Now, are we going to have to do that in real life? Who knows? We don't know. But in order to assure yourself of locating that quarterback at number 9, to locate that quarterback, you got to move up just a little bit. So kind of solidifying with moving up, if it makes sense, that whole quote from Mark Davis. So anyways, shout out to PFF, mock draft. There's stipulations on here that I try to make it as realistic as possible. Public versus PFF board, I go about 50-50. Care for positional value, I go more. People care for more of the positional value. And draft for needs, I put that more too. And then throw up some randomness just a little bit, because teams at times, they just pick randomly. Maybe it's best available, or, they just like the guy. So I just threw that in there. And with that, let's get it started. Round 3 rounds this time. So let's get into it.
And this will be straight up, by the way. This will be straight up. And then the second 3-round mock draft that we do will be, we'll entertain trades. So let's go ahead and start the show, start the mock draft.
All right, here we go.
Drake May. Ooh. Oh,
damn.
Oh, man.
Oh, damn. They did it.
Man,
See,
it happened last time.
You shouldn't have said nothing. You should have said nothing, Pharaoh. You should have kept. Look, you shouldn't have said nothing. You should not have said nothing. They was like, we ain't trading? Okay, well, cool then.
Right.
Okay. So last week, we end up picking J.C. Latham at 13 straight up.
Yep.
This week, let's look at the board right now. A guy that you guys both like, Kenyon Mitchell, is on the board. Your favorite corner is on the board, I should say, but actually a talented corner. Then you got Latu's on the board, Byron Murphy. There's some guys. Troy Fatano's on the board. Terrion Arnold's on the board, man. Dallas Turner, top, edge rusher. A lot of people have him going in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jared Verse for Shanu.
J.C. Latham there as well. Do we have? Is Michael Penix still on the board? Michael Penix
is definitely on the board still. J.J. McCarthy got pick number 12.
Oh, he got picked by the Broncos. Oh my God, that's lucky for us.
So Bo Nix, Michael Penix still on the board.
So why don't we do something different this week? Why don't we? Because the Raiders they always surprise us. I don't know why they just do this. They always surprise us. Like no one really expected Tyree Wilson to be drafted last year by the Raiders. Like no one was really talking about that, and it happened.
Yep.
Why? And no one right now is talking about corner. Like we're talking about, we've talked about offensive tackle. We talked about quarterback. Why don't we just go ahead and take the top cornerback on the board? It makes sense.
I can see it happening.
Hey, it makes sense. It's a big need for the Raiders. They need some depth and a guy that they can develop into being a number 1 corner. Along with Jack Jones in the secondary.
Let's get it.
That's my guy. I think
I don't hate it.
Yeah, Mike described it best. He said he's built like a running back, hits like a safety, and covers like an elite corner. You can't get mad at that.
Man.
Latu 23.
23, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's my guy too.
Mims. So
this board is falling perfectly for us, I think.
Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, it's looking real good. So
okay,
at this point, you already know what time it is.
I already know what time it is. Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's go quarterback real quick.
Yep.
And we gonna be realistic, man. If Michael Penix is here, we have to take him.
We take him all day. We gotta
take him all
do
day,
that,
man.
Now, I will say this. I did notice on the board, just because it's still on my mind, Braden Fisk at number 32 to the Chiefs would be devastating. I hope that does not happen. But anyways,
That will be devastating.
Michael Penix it is at 44.
Facts. All right. So we got Michael Penix on the board, and pick number 77 is going to be up next. Let's see how this receivers are getting drafted right now.
Your guy. Oh, my guy too. Dang, Jalen Pope.
So,
hey, two guys I like, man.
So pay attention to this. The receivers are getting drafted a lot in the second round. There's a big
Troy Franklin is a guy. Oh, and Troy Franklin and Dez. I know we like speed. Troy Franklin and Tez Walker would have been two guys that would have been perfect. Both of them gone.
Yep.
And Xavier Legette, of course.
All right. So let's look. Okay.
Oh, we got Blake Corum there too. If you feeling a little frisky. But,
Blake Corum's there.
Blake Fisher.
Fisher's there.
Blake
Fisher would be some of need right there. I just want to see what's available at receiver. No, nothing at receiver.
I mean, I like Rice. But if we're looking for speed, he's not a true speed guy. Gabriel Murphy is a guy who I like, but he's a guy that I will pick in the 5th if I'm taking the guy.
Let me ask you this. I still feel like the Raiders could still add to that D line, that interior. You know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, we got Christian Wilkins, T'Vondre Sweat. Recently, he had like it's not a good sign, bro. Like the dude, people talked about like he was real honest. I heard in the pre-draft process about how he was a partier and this, that, and the third, but he's a changed man, and then he has a DUI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And from what I heard, he was buzzed. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like he wasn't that much over this but either way, it's not a good look, especially Vegas being a party town in itself. Parties, you know what I mean? Like, is he off the board for the Raiders at any point in this draft, or do we consider him in the 4th or 5th round, 6th round? Like if he's there.
If he's in the 4th or 5th, you gotta consider it. Now, I don't know how the Raiders feel about all those issues being in Vegas and all the stuff that's happened in the past.
Right.
Like, I could see that just being just immediately no. But the talent that T'Vondre Sweat brings to the table, it's hard to say no to that. Like 4th, 5th round, if he's there. In the 3rd round, it might be easy to pass up on that just because there's still value from other positions. Mm-hmm. But 4th or 5th round is going to be hard to say no if he's still available. Be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I guess it's going to be a to be continued because it's a 3-round mock draft. So we're going to take him off the board right now. I mean, not take him right now, but obviously take someone else. I like Blake Fisher, offensive tackle. I feel like if we can get tackle.
What's available at tackle? And in terms of T'Vondre Sweat, I like him as a player. I mean, he's a big guy. He'll be a nice guy to replace John Jenkins when he kind of I like Patrick Paul as well. Patrick Paul is a guy who doesn't get a lot of attention. I like Patrick Paul as a tackle too. I think that's good value. He's a guy that will fit perfectly in his own system too. But Blake Fisher obviously is better value. But I think Patrick Paul that would be a solid pickup.
Can I check out interior lineman real quick? Because I feel like that's a bigger need rather than a tackle. Because
go ahead.
we might have faith in a Thayer Munford to be that guy, at the tackle position on the right side. So I just want to check and see what's there at the interior Cooper Beebe's my guy right there, man.
No, that's the guy you really like. Oh, I
Yeah.
know Zach Zinter is another guy that people are high on. So is Cooper Beebe over Zach Zinter?
Yeah, and Beebe, his stock is rising as we go. Kind of reminds me of I said this last week. Juice Scruggs, who was a 6th-round pick, 6th-round projection, he got picked in the 2nd round by the Texans. So those interior linemen, like their value, it gets higher and higher as the draft progresses, as it gets closer to the draft.
Right.
And look at the guard market now in general. Like, you see how they're paying guards these days, right? Like I said, a premium, and I think that Cooper Beebe is one of those guys that could be that cornerstone of an offensive line down the line. The dude, he can pull well. He's agile. He has a mean streak. I think that guard position needs to be addressed right here at this point, man. But that's just me. What do you guys think about it?
So yeah, man, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at it either. But it's also, let's pose this question right here. It's basically how the Raiders feel about Thayer Munford. They like him better at right guard or right tackle. Also, what comes into play is who's the better player on the board, Cooper Beebe or Blake Fisher? So those are the two things that you got to look at. So what's the plan for Thayer Munford?
Yep.
And that's the whole conversation. We talked to Sanjit recently, and he was saying that at offensive tackle he might be a little bit questionable. Maybe at right guard he might be a better fit. But at the end of the day, Telesco has a track record of taking the best player on the board, and if he feels like Cooper Beebe is that guy, then we go get him.
Yeah.
Man,
so go ahead. Go do it.
All right, let's hit it.
Do it.
And Blake Fisher went next. That's crazy.
Patrick
Paul
went
went
right
after
him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Patrick Paul is the guy. People look into him, man. Patrick Paul is a dog. Jeremiah Trotter, I know. Oh, Gabe Murphy went this early. I like Gabriel Murphy, but man,
Tavondre Sweat got drafted as well.
Yes, Bucky Irving's
but the reality is too, I'm not sure if they're taking into consideration like that issue he had recently. I'm not sure.
Exactly. Man, a big man that's they gave Quinyon Mitchell an A+. They gave this is the second time we got an F in the mock. I think they gave us an F for drafting Penix at 9.
Yeah.
Cooper Beebe, Big Mike, if people have an issue with this, man, let us know in the comment section. Like Big Mike said earlier, he said he's gonna be ready for the smoke. So he said y'all should be ready for the smoke.
Look, but before y'all comment though, make sure y'all watch that video Mike made on Cooper Beebe. At least y'all have some ammunition at that point.
Yeah. On top of that, I did a film breakdown on it too. So
yeah. So
check out the film breakdown. Maybe do your own film breakdown, and then bring the smoke if you have it. So
and look at that overall draft grade too. Look at that overall draft grade right there. That's
still an A.
It's still an A. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we're not going to go off draft grades. It's about who we want for the Raiders, and sometimes it might not make sense to PFF, but PFF is just a simulator at the end of the day. So it's not based off facts or any team's true board, big board on their draft. So let's go ahead and do a second version of the 3-round mock draft, and this one we're gonna entertain trades. But you know what? That's gonna be messed up, man. If
watch Jaden Daniels gonna go too. The same thing happened last time. We was like, we're gonna do trades, and Jaden Daniels went too.
Jaden Daniels on that first mock draft, 3-round mock draft, he went number 6. And last week the same thing happened the first time around. Hopefully, and we want to keep it on slow so we can catch, any trade up opportunities.
Cool.
So if you want to put it on slow, like I think this.
You want it ultra slow?
Yeah.
All right.
Just at this point, so then we can see this.
All right. So I know that PFF has a lot of the rankings still a little bit off. Like, a guy like Michael Penix is still a little bit off. Cooper Beebe, he's a 2nd-round projected dude at this point. Like, do you guys? Are we entertaining that, or are we just gonna go status quo as far as what it
No,
has
we're
projected.
we're gonna get our guys. Whoever that is on the
Alright.
board, we're gonna be aggressive and we're gonna collectively agree on who we
Okay.
should get. So
Cool.
let's go ahead and start the show. Mark that.
All right. You guys want to entertain a trade beforehand or nah?
Let's see how the first 2 picks go. And once we get to the Patriots, let's pause it.
All right. Good deal.
Watch Jane Daniels number 2 to the Commanders.
Caleb Williams.
Because Severe, why are you gonna just put it in the universe?
Drake May.
Okay, we got action.
All right,
We got action.
all right, all
Here we
right.
go.
We got action.
Trade
Oh, my
package.
goodness.
Trade package.
Here
All
we
right.
go.
We got action.
Whew. Let's go do it. So,
Agree.
obviously number 13. I want us to
Give
pick
me-
I want us to keep our second round this year. No matter what,
right.
we gotta keep
Yeah.
that second round this year. So obviously round 1 next year, and let's go. Just to be realistic, we gotta do at least 2 first-round picks. Obviously, put 2025.
Yeah.
And
It's 24% chance of being accepted at this point.
So if we offer it, does it just like decline it and just move forward, or can we just keep sending trade offers?
So we can start and to see if they accept this, and
Right.
you still have opportunities to continue.
Okay.
If it doesn't.
So it's
you
not
wanna
like they
start off-
decline and then move forward. Like it's not like they decline and then pick the player that they want or trades with someone
No,
else.
no. You have to
Alright.
resume the draft for that.
All right.
So
Let's
you want me to shoot at him?
Now
Hey.
let's throw in 77. Let's throw in 77.
You want
Throw in
77?
Throw 77.
Just to be
in there.
realistic.
See what that does. That price is like 26. Oh.
That
Oh,
actually,
let's do 112. Let's take off 77. Let's do 112.
I feel you on that one. Start a little bit low. That's 40%
Start
chance.
off low, man. Start up. Let's see.
You
Let's
want
see.
to
They
give
might
up
be
one of
desperate.
these 6-round picks too?
Let's do it.
208.
Let's give it.
208.
Huh?
208.
Give KC's. Give it to him. That's gonna be like 45.
That didn't change nothing. Oh, it
40%.
changed 2%, 42%.
42.
42%.
It went backwards.
Hey, no, let's offer it. Let's offer it.
Disrespect.
40 to 42.
All right.
Offer.
Let's offer it. Let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Okay, nice.
We have 4 attempts.
remaining.
Oh,
Okay.
snaps. Okay, that's why I asked that. Okay. All right, we
Let's
got
do,
it.
hey,
We got it.
no, know what? Hey, in light of that recent Robert Kraft interview, let's give him Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers, I can throw in a player.
Okay.
Nah, I'm messing with you, man. 'Cause, no, he said he wish he shouldn't let him get away. Like, all right, brother, it's your chance to get him back.
What about Byron Young?
Psh, I'm good on Byron. Look, they not going.
Oh, like trade Byron Young?
They're going to
Yeah.
charge us to take Byron Young.
For real, they're gonna be like
that puts us up at an 85% chance.
we gotta pay his contract.
Byron
We gotta pay
Oh, psh.
He's a
Nah,
third round
nah.
dude. And it's cheap. It's hella cheap.
Nah, it gotta be. Let's do this. All right, let's change 112 to 77.
Okay.
Let's keep it real. Yeah, let's 112 to 77.
Okay,
All
let's-
right.
let's take off 208.
Ooh,
Let's take off
okay, look at
208.
it. Look, oh,
Let's take off 208. That's gonna put it at 71% if you take off 208.
Yep.
Yeah.
damn, it
You
ain't
want to
even
give it a
move.
shot right here?
Weapon. Let's
Wanna
get it a
give it a
shot.
shot
Get it
here?
a shot. All right, let's offer that.
All right, we got 4 more attempts, so we might as well. Nope.
Ooh.
Damn. All right. Damn.
All right. So then we gotta let's offer a player because they're rebuilding right. All right, so let's
Offer 8. Let's offer 8 O'Connell.
Hey, no comment. I mean,
Would that be some cold work though? Nah, but I don't think that's
Right.
realistic. But
I'm telling you,
I mean, I
Byron Young, I can see them.
you see the one in
letting
Byron Young?
Young. That's a Josh McDaniels pick.
True. That is true.
but he's not with him though.
Now, Jared Mayo though was there, and Jared Mayo's a guy that he was there when Josh was there too. But what do they feel about the guy they got though? The guy they got from Bama, Christian Barmore. Christian Barmore is good.
Yeah, but it has to be a good player, bro. We only got 3 attempts. It got to be a good player.
Do you get rid of a Malcolm Kuntz now while his value's high? It kind of goes against their philosophy, right? Like they got the edge rushers, they got this part of the defense. I don't think any of the starters on defense go anywhere at this point.
I say Tyree Wilson. I say Tyree Wilson.
I wouldn't trade Tyree. I'm not trading Tyree though. I'm not trading Tyree, man.
I ain't trading Tyree.
I know I wouldn't want to trade Tyree either, but what I'm saying is at the end of the day, like it has to be a good player.
It is a McDaniels guy too.
But look, if we putting Tyree in there, I'm taking 77 off there, bro. I'm not giving you like that's essentially, yeah, bro.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Right when we said put Tyree, look what happened.
Well, you know what? Take off that future first and see where we at with it, bro. 13 and Tyree Wilson.
I'm doing
that, bro.
I do that instantly.
I'm doing that, bro. Shit, what? Move 13 to 40. I mess with you now.
I mean, here's the thing, bro. Like they got Malcolm Kuntz, they got Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins. Do they necessarily need a Tyree Wilson at this point?
Man, I mean, look, the two most important positions on the football field are pass rusher and quarterback.
Yeah.
Like I think those are you want a quarterback and you want people that can affect the quarterback. And I think this would be a situation where Tyreek could turn it Tyreek has potential. He has mad potential. I was a Jalen Carter guy, but Tyreek has potential. But look, honestly, if all it takes is the 13th pick and Tyree Wilson to move up for Jaden Daniels, I'm probably doing that.
And then you pick up.
I'm gonna keep real with you. Just to be, if I was a Patriots fan, and that will never happen ever. But if I was a Patriots fan, or if I was on the Patriots end of this trade, this will never be accepted. I wouldn't even accept this trade. Like, hell nah. Because you know why? Because you got the Vikings, who would obviously have something to say about it. So just to make it realistic, what would a realistic trade package look like?
Right,
definitely wouldn't trade Tyree Wilson. It would definitely be 2 first. Like kind of where we had it originally, right? First or third of this year, next year's first, and then I was thinking maybe like a fourth of next year.
I think that's 79%. I could roll with that. I roll with that. I think that's realistic.
We got 3 attempts, so you want to try that at least, or
let's try that. We have 79%.
All right, man. That Tyree Wilson has me thinking, though. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
if they take that trade, bro. Yes.
Told you.
Damn. Because you know what? Because the quarterback is on the board, and that's why I tell people that if we want to draft Michael Penix, it's better to draft him at 13 than it is to try to draft Fuaga or somebody at 13 and move back up. Because if Michael Penix is on the board and teams know you're trading up to draft Michael Penix, they are going to charge you a premium. Like if this wasn't Jaden Daniels on the board right now, or J.J. McCarthy, whoever they may have higher on PFF rankings, sometimes their rankings are weird. But if one of those high-ranked quarterbacks run on the board right now, 79%, they're taking that. But the fact that Jaden Daniels is there, you know, but let's roll with this. Let's see.
2 firsts, 2 thirds, 99% chance.
I can't get mad at that. I think that's.
They don't accept this, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Watch, they say no.
All right.
So we on the board. All right.
So it took 2 firsts and 2 thirds. Just for a
record.
And
we
just FYI,
we drafting Joe Alt. Let's get
it. For real.
Nah, we're picking J.C. Latham.
The next, Trent Williams.
Man,
Trent Williams. But hey, look. Just FYI, just a disclaimer, everybody. It's gonna take more than this. It's gonna take more. It's gonna take more than 2 firsts and 2 thirds. If this would be highway robbery, if the Raiders were able to get a top 3 pick and only give up 2 first-round picks and a 2 third-round picks, come on, bro. That's a beautiful deal, especially when you got like the Vikings and all these other teams that need quarterback. That would be a great trade for the Raiders. But
absolutely,
we got it done.
If they offered a 2026 first, it would probably take a 2026 first as well. Minus those 3rd-round pick.
I think either it's going to be two first-round picks and a really good player that Raider Nation and everybody's going to be like, why do we?
Tyree Wilson, I'm telling you, it might be Tyree Wilson.
Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Michael Mayer,
Myers. I don't see Devontae Adams being a part of that trade block because it just wouldn't make sense for him to go to a rebuilding team. He's up there in age. I don't know. But I think it's going to be one of those young building blocks where we were like, oh, no, we gave up Michael Mayer. But the at the end, we get the quarterback of the future. So I think everybody's going to forget about that. But, look, Jaden Daniels on the board. Let's go ahead and draft him.
There you go, Jaden Daniels. Everybody be happy about that one this time around.
Yes, sir. So pause it real quick. Pause it real quick. So like just so we can keep track of what we have. So we got we still got our second round pick, fourth round pick. I believe that's the fifth round right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
2, 6, and the seventh.
Yep.
2, 6, 2, 7.
Is that 2 7s? All right.
I think it's 2 7.
We got our second, third, fourth, 2, 6, 2, 7s.
Okay. There you go. So let's go ahead and
1 5th and 2 6. Sorry.
Yeah. I was 223 is. I thought we had 2 7s. I thought 223 was a 7.
Yeah. So 223, 229 is a 7. I think 208 is a 6.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
All right. We could speed it up a little bit. We could go to the next notch higher. Like right there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, because we're not picking again until 44. So.
Yeah.
And I don't think we don't have anything.
Cooper DeJean over Quinion Mitchell. That's crazy. JJ McCarthy went late.
Now, if we pause it real quick. All right.
That's crazy. Look who the Patriots drafted.
Michael Penix Jr. 34, which is not going to happen, but that's wild. They kind of win that trade, to be honest.
They do, bro. They do win that trade. They get at 13.
Quinion Mitchell.
That's our last draft. That's our A+ draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
They win that trade, bro.
Draft.
Just off of that, just alone.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, bro.
Yeah. So look, let's take a look at who's on the board.
All right.
Who's on the board? Let's go off. Let's see offensive tackle. Let's look at everybody. That's we can't look at who's on the board yet, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hey, Big Mike, what's that right there where it says big board? If you go all the way to the top,
this one.
We'll let you click. Yeah, we'll let you click on that.
It says changes you made will not be saved. So yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, it'll kick us out of the draft. Then.
Oh yeah, never mind. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh man, so it don't even allow you to look at. Okay.
Let me see. Okay. So who are you looking at? Who are you looking for right now at this point?
We know who you're looking for.
So I want to see who are the top offensive line men on the board.
Franklin to the Chiefs would be devastating too, man. How we hated Braden Fisk going there.
Most likely, we're probably gonna wait till 44 to make the pick, but just wanted to see who possibly could be on the board.
Although for Sean, Tyler Guyton went first round, which hurts.
So right now, the tackle from Georgia is still on the board.
Amarius Mims.
Yeah, Amarius Mims is still on the board. So if you did want to take a tackle, it might be worth trying to move up to 36 to get the dude right now.
Right, but it's kind of a risky pick to trade up for a guy that's like only had 8 starts, injury prone, injured on his combine workout. As you know what I'm saying, like he just every time he just steps out the house, he injured.
Right.
But when that dude is healthy though, he's a monster.
And the only reason why I'm bringing it up because I said the second one is going to be where we're going to entertain all types of deals. Realistically speaking, there might just be one trade for the Raiders if they try to get into that top 10, top 5. Yeah. If it's there,
lay low after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after that, bro. Like in a draft this deep, you know, you're not trying to be giving up like half your draft because at that point we already made a move to get up. You know, we lost out on the second round pick, but hey, not a second round pick. We lost out on the third, but you know, we identified our quarterback of the future. So
And we won it in that we kept the second round pick, so we'll be able to get a good player after pick number 44. So you can go ahead and press
Continue.
play. Yep, continue.
All right.
Let's see.
So there we go. I think this.
So go to receiver. Go down.
Legette's there.
Your guy. So this is a luxury pick, but this is a guy that this is a guy I like as well. Jalen Polk is a guy I really like too. Those are Jalen Polk and Xavier Legette are two guys I really like. Jalen Polk is not a speedy guy. I think we want some speed on this team. Roman Wilson is a speedy guy. Xavier Legette, I think, even though he's not ranked as high on PFF's board, I think he's going to be a bit better player than just about all these guys.
Yep.
So, do we take the luxury pick, provide Jaden with another weapon out there, some speed, or do we go tackle, or do we go guard?
So
I say we go tackle.
Blake Fisher's on the board, but that's a reach, kind of a reach. You can probably get him in the third, but we don't have a third round pick now.
Let's go to best player available. Let's go see let's see if there's some corners on the board, because that's another
TJ Tampa. Ennis Rexraw is a guy. You guys know how I feel about Ennis Rexraw. I think Ennis Rexraw is he's one of my guys.
Yeah, he's one of your guys for sure.
People really like Kamari Lassiter too. I like Ennis Rexraw, but people like Kamari Lassiter. I don't really know a lot about TJ Tampa. I know some people are high on him, but Kamari Lassiter and Ennis Rexraw are two guys I'm familiar with, and both of those guys are good.
And that's why I wanted to look at the board at the top of the second, because I knew, all right, I feel like we could probably, just because this is going to be the second version of trading up, we're probably going to look at maybe offensive tackle, and we might have to reach and maybe draft a guy, because the next pick is going to be in the fourth round.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have to.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. Grabbing Blake Fisher right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he will not be available at by the time we pick again.
Yeah.
So there's that. But at this point you kind of have to be smart about it. Legette is there, which is great. You know what I mean? But you kind of have to go for a guy that you kind of bolster your offensive line and be smart with it. So I don't know. I will go Blake Fisher or Patrick Paul, one or the other. I don't really know too much about Kieran, the other guy listed above him, but
I don't know anything about that dude either.
That last name, man, that's deadly right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, just for me, Patrick Paul is a guy I really like. Dude is 6'7", 6'7", 300-something pounds. I think he has 36-inch arms. That's a guy. I think he has all the physical tools to be an elite guy. Like I said, you got 36-inch arms, right? that.
Yeah. 6'7", 315. That's crazy.
3'6",
315 at 6'7".
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so he's not that. He's a leaner guy.
Yeah.
But look at his PFF grades though.
Yeah, his PFF grades are real nice.
PFF grades. Look, he's in the 81, 75 all 3 years. He's
blocking grade 91.5.
Well, Blake Fisher 6'6", 312. Blake Fisher 6'6", 312.
Yeah,
about the same frame. Similar frame.
Similar frame,
So they're like athletic tackles. Be able to move, zone blocking system. It's pretty much like, this is one of those James Craig, you make the call. Who's your guy?
Yeah,
I'm
kind of interested in this Kieran A right here. He's 89.5. Pass blocking grade is okay. Zone grade is pretty good. He's 6'5", 318.
Okay. He's a little bit bigger than him.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger than what kind of what kind of what you call it? What kind of like what are those measurables?
It
Foot
doesn't
speed is
show
somewhat
on here.
slow.
Because I thought Patrick Paul was bigger than that. I saw something on Patrick Paul. I forgot where I saw it.
I don't like
think
that.
it might have been on.
Yeah.
What, he's slow?
Yeah.
I thought Patrick Paul was like in the 330. I thought he was like 320 something, 330 something.
Huh.
Yeah, he said they got him listed at 315 here. He might be bigger than that though.
Okay.
Good anchor ability, vines for arms.
36 inch arms.
Yeah, feet are a little bit heavy. I mean, offensive lineman feet are heavy. Arms, hand placement still erratic at time. You can work that out. Hand speed is somewhat slow. You can work that out. Lacks intensity as a run blocker. And that's the biggest
You
problem.
can't work that in. That's concerning. That's
At
I think
right
you
tackle too. At right
Yeah,
tackle.
I think you have to. I think that one. I think with that, I think Blake Fisher would probably be there. But they said Blake Fisher was kind of not athletic. Yeah.
Feet hop more than move. Get overextended. I don't like that. Foot speed might be too slow to really protect outside shoulder.
You know what?
Yeah.
Look what it says. It says he would fit well in a man gap system.
Yeah.
So,
So neither of those three really fit, bro. At this point, like
All right.
not in the second round, at least. Like, to be honest with you, you might want to just go best available here.
Yeah,
maybe a TJ Tampa or like
what do we have at guard right now?
Rick Straw. Guard.
What do we have at guard right now? Let's take a quick look at guard. If not, I wouldn't mind Rick Straw.
Christian Haynes. I'm all right with that too. I can show you what.
Yeah, let's see what Christian Haynes looking like. Oh, yeah, it's clean. Zone grade 89.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
Makes a great.
I did the research, bro. Trust me, I already know.
Oh yeah, hey, look. I'm rolling Christian Haynes right here. I'm rolling Christian.
Makes for
Haynes.
a great puller, zone blocker, overall athleticism, above average.
Ideal height, ideal. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, not really good in man scheme. We don't run a man scheme.
Yeah, and the stuff that you can learn, stuff that you can be taught, coached, balanced. Not as effective blocking up in the middle of man gap. You don't need that. Doesn't sit in pass potential like he needs to. Hey, you can learn that. You know
exactly. Like that's coaching.
So
that's coaching.
That's coaching. So
Coach Craig, get with our boy Chris. Hey, I'm good with Christian Haynes. I'm good with Christian Haynes right here.
Christian Haynes, it is. You cool with that, Pharaoh? You cool?
Let's do it.
All right. It's a reach according to PFF, but it's a sound pick at that point. Considering we don't have a third round pick either, so
exactly. Brandon Trice went late. Dang. Xavier Worthy in the third round. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
Blake Fisher went late too. He went third. Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, pause it. I just thought about it.
Oh shit! It was going too fast.
We're trying to trade back up into the third.
Yeah, trade back in the third.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Yeah, they of course they're gonna knock us for that Christian Haynes pick.
Yeah.
Should have drafted TJ Tampa.
Because they identified corner as a need, so they probably gonna knock both of our. Yeah. But I'm good with I'm good with Christian Haynes. I'm good with guard. I mean, it just depends on how you feel about Munford, how you feel about Meredith. I think Meredith can be a solid, gap. I mean, a solid spot filler for a guard or a guy that's gonna be good in the competition.
Yeah, and it's all about needs at this point. We need a guard. We need a guard on the offensive line more than we need a tackle. Now, like we said before, it depends on how you feel about Thayer Munford. Is he that guy that can play guard? If that's the case, you need to go tackle in this situation. But the tackles that were available at that time wasn't worth picking that high in the second round. So in that situation, now you got to go with best available on the offensive line, which was Christian Haynes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing too. When you're trading up, you're gonna give up picks, and it's gonna put you in a position where you might be at the second round. The next time you pick is in the fourth round. Then you're going to be like, maybe at this spot I might have picked corner, but the next time I draft is the fourth round. So to be honest with you, now that I think about it, maybe we should have went corner.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have went corner. And let us know in the comment section how you guys feel about the draft, how we kind of wanted to address a need, offensive line, obviously that right side of that O-line, right guard and right tackle. But maybe we should have gotten a corner here and maybe found a starter at guard in the fourth round.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
There's Zinter still available. BB's might be available, especially if we move up into the third round. So
yeah. I mean, I think with the corner thing, if it gets to that zone where you got to start looking at, okay, how much better is this guy than what we think we can get out of Jacorian Bennett, or then we think we can get out of a guy like Sam Webb, who is, he's kind of been in the program for a little while. So if these guys, if you don't project them as, because Sam Webb was a guy he's a big, he's a big guy, has some arm length, has some pretty good solid movement in the open field, and he's been in the system already. Jacorian Bennett is a guy who has all the requisite athleticism to be a good corner, and he's been a year in the system already. Started the year as our starter on the outside. So if these guys, we don't project these guys to be that much better than what we have, and then we got Brandon Faison still.
I was about to say that. Yep.
Yeah, we forget all about Brandon. Like he's the forgotten man. So and he's a guy who's been a starter in the league before as well. We just didn't. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind situation, because we spent. Obviously they thought highly of him because this man was holding up a roster spot for the whole dang on year, and
he was
they
our highest paid corner.
Yeah, exactly. So they thought that highly of him to keep him on the roster. So unless I'm getting like a blue chip top of the line guy or a guy I'm a super fan of, like, hey, I already said Quinion Mitchell is one of my guys, and Straw is one of my guys as well. But if I'm not getting one of those like guys who I'm really like, dang, this guy's a true difference maker, like off immediately, then I'm good on waiting on corner to later rounds or even UDFA.
Yeah, man. I think the biggest argument is the fact that, like, can you find an impact starter at corner in the fourth round or in the second round? Can you find an impact starter in the second round at guard or in the fourth, or can you get a guy in the fourth round? And that's something that the Raiders got to, like, figure out, meaning that they probably could get a guy in the fourth round, but if they really like the guy, maybe a Haynes, obviously Big Mike, your guy BB, is a guy that you are high on, and right now that PFF thing it's kind of off. We talked about that. It's kind of off as far as the ranking, so it's probably there's certain guys that are going to go early. Man, every year there's always going to be a guy that's going to drop. We talked about it. I think earlier before we started, we talked about how Christian Gonzalez.
We talked about Emmanuel Forbes.
Emmanuel Forbes got picked over Christian Gonzalez, and Gonzalez last year was mocked to go in the top 10, top 15. End up going all the way down to 17 to the Patriots, who obviously got a great value picking him.
JJ McCarthy. Excuse me.
I think Severe might be the next president of the JJ McCarthy is no good club. It hasn't been official. He has to put in his work. You know what I mean? Put in the paperwork.
He has to revoke his membership for the Justin Fields Club.
Yeah, man. I gotta, I can't leave my folks over at the Justin Fields and No Good fan club just yet.
Just not yet. Just not yet. Yeah. No, I got you. But yeah, man. Hey, it's been a great show. Hey, we talked about a lot, man. We keep just like as usual. And let us know in the chat, man. Let us know in the comment section. Did you guys agree with our mock draft? Every week we're gonna do comments of the week. So let us know in the comment section how you guys felt about our mock draft. What's going on with the Raiders as far as picking a guy like Michael Penix. In this case, we traded up all the way to number 3. We made it happen. Realistically speaking, I'm not sure if we can get it done with 2 first-round picks and 2 thirds. That would be a great trade for the Raiders, but we made it happen. But let us know, man, what would it look like for the Raiders to trade up to the first round? Like, would it take 3 first-round picks? Man, like, let us know in the comment section. And, hey, yeah, let the people know, man, where they can find you, Big Mike.
Yep, Big Mike Raider. Do a search. Right there's the first thing that pops up, man. And we got the 30 days, 30 prospects. We're at the halfway mark. Tomorrow, well, Thursday will be day 17. Friday will be day 18. Stay tuned for that. And we got something special for you, man.
Severe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know what time it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, the Severe Raider on Instagram, the Severe Raider on X/Twitter. Hey, and make sure y'all tune in to Mike's 30 Days, 30 Prospects. He took the shortest hiatus in the history of Mike was like about to take a little break at the halfway point. Like 5 hours later, it's a video. I was like, what this? Little
Mr.
break?
Consistent.
Hey, I just needed a day, bro.
He went in the kitchen and made a sandwich and came back and like, all right, let's knock this video out. And then, yeah, man, but like Pharaoh was saying, man, make sure y'all get down in the comment section, comments that stick out to us, whether they be positive comments, whether they be critical comments, whether they be some stuff that's thought-provoking that we haven't thought of. If y'all get down in the comment section, leave that there, you have an opportunity to be featured on the show. So make sure y'all do that. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and that notification bell. And I'll see y'all next time.
Just be ready for smoke, though.
Yeah, all day.
No doubt, yeah. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell. As you can see on the screen, Pharaoh NFL. And like Severe said, man, leave a comment down below. We will look at the comments. We'll review what the best comments were, and we'll put it on the show. Shout out to everybody that left a comment on the last show, and we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it rolling. Hey, man, next week. 4-round mock draft. So, hey, the show must go on, man. So be on the lookout on that. But in the meantime, y'all could check out the 3-round mock draft that we did. I know it might be controversial, but hey, at the end of the day, let us know, man. Let us know if you guys agree or not. But like I said, it's been a great show. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.